I never pay attention. Hey, we're recording. I never pay attention to anything you send me.
Now, John, I've got a new shirt policy. I'm just wearing one shirt and that's it. And if people are upset and want to cancel because I don't put a new shirt on each time, then fine.
That's fair. That's totally fair. You know what? I'm relieved because I'm only wanting to wear one shirt today as well. So,
Well, when
folks,
when we get our new shirts made, let's only wear them. And I actually have come up with the art for the new shirt. Let me
are you
bring
going to
it
share
up.
your screen? Can you share your screen and share that?
No, I'm going to put it on my what do you call it? My background. But
Oh, your
okay,
background is going to be
there it is.
Rules
Okay,
Are for Fools. Is that the one we're
here it
coming up with?
comes. Whoops.
Man, I tell you what, getting you to do technology is like.
How did I turn my video off? Now, is
No,
it
your
back on?
video is back on. Go to the three dots on your.
Okay, hold on. Here comes my. There it is. That's for our new T-shirt.
That, you know what? That's actually going to be a good T-shirt.
I think so.
I'm going to get one with a dumb picture of you on it. That'll be mine, and then yours will be that one.
John, by definition, there are no dumb pictures of me.
I beg to differ.
Okay,
Okay, now that we've just wasted 2 minutes of invaluable airtime,
wasted people's time. Okay,
yeah, wasted
so
people's
I've got
time.
a topic.
What's on your mind today?
Well, I was talking with a friend about
You have a friend?
No, a real one, John, not the kind you get on Facebook.
Not like
She
me.
was bemoaning the fact that she had joined a camera club and it was very regimented, rule oriented. You had to please the judge or you didn't get a good score. If you submitted something that you loved, it was dismissed because it didn't follow the rules. And I said, I love talking to camera clubs for that reason. I hope to plant some seeds and maybe over time affect some change. And then I had this new thought just the other day. I thought, why am I trying to change them? Many of the people in a club join for a specific reason. They love gear, they love talking tech, they love just following the rules to improve their vacation photos. Instead, why not encourage people to form a new type of photo club? And I just, for the lack of a better word, call it a fine art photography club. Don't like the word club, but it would then be a completely different orientation. It would be focusing on creating, on vision, developing personal vision, exploring that process. Now, I don't know if that's viable, but I'm going to throw it out there. Let's start forming new types of clubs that aren't equipment and rule oriented.
I think they exist to some degree because I've been speaking to a few that are more like that don't compete anymore. They've gotten rid of competitions, or they have image sharing rather than competing, which I think are all moves in the right direction. And when I speak to clubs, they'll oftentimes, I don't know about, tell me if this happens to you, they'll say, hey, would you do a lecture for us? You bet, happy to, love to lecture at the clubs. Oh, and then would you stay and do the judging for and my answer is no, I won't do it. Yeah, I won't
all
do
the
it.
time.
Yeah.
And what kills me is that they'll ask me that after I had done a previous presentation and I'm coming back for a second time.
Yeah, and they know.
Somebody was sleeping during my presentation, I think.
I think you're onto something. So how about they call it a forum, a photography forum,
or an association, or
something where there's a different level of intent or different intent and a different level of desire to be more artistic and creative with their journey in photography, or to express themselves in a different way through their photography, whatever that might be. But you're right. I think there's absolutely space for a different take on a
clubs serve a purpose. People find camaraderie. They are maybe not trying to be artists. They're just trying to be better photographers. They need to learn about their cameras. They want a little direction. That's great. But the disadvantages are, of course, that some tend to be rigid, rule oriented. Often I find that people are trying to please the judge. they'll tell me they tried to pick out images that they thought he would like.
Yep.
And so in those respects, I don't think that always a club is the best place. Well, especially if you're trying to be an artist and express yourself.
And I think that needs to be the differentiating factor, Cole, because there are people, and maybe more than we think actually, who don't have a desire to be doing what we're trying to do, or
Right.
our friends like Sarah and TJ and Alex and Bill and all these people that we know and love their work. Well, you don't know because you don't know their work, but you know of them, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're trying to go to a different place with their photography. And so for that group, I think it's great if they could find their like people and do that. But there are still going to be, like you said, there's still place for a more typical club, and that's perfectly acceptable. I still go back to my buddy Dan. He liked PSA, Photographic Society of America, and he liked all the rules and fit to the rules, and he won Grand Poobah of the Year award. I don't know what that was, and I can't never remember, but I supported him wholeheartedly. But interesting, Dan's a little bit different case study, because he finally got to the place where he wasn't going to meet their rules. And so bottom line is, he would only do work that made him happy. And then he knew that this one would probably do okay in that category, versus in the early time with PSA, he was making images to meet that category. And he changed that 180 degrees and said, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to make images that I want to make. And if they fit the category, then I'll enter them in that category. So
I just had a woman write me and say she was submitting 3 images to Lenswork. There's some, I don't know what it is, but they needed to submit 3, and was trying to figure out what she should submit. Heard, I think one of our podcasts. What are these called? Not
these are
podcasts.
I don't know. It's a YouTube channel that we also serve up the podcast now from
Oh.
it. So I don't know the right term. Remember,
She had listened to one and said, I've decided I'm going to submit what I love. And if I don't get in, that's okay.
good.
And I think that's a good attitude, because second guessing is never good for so many reasons, what
Yeah.
someone else will love. And golly gee, why don't you submit what you're passionate about? Because I think there's power in that.
Amen. And again, knowing, going back to what we've talked about a lot, do it without any fear or even thought maybe of what the response is going to be. A negative response from Brooks Jensen at Lenswork submission doesn't mean your work is good or bad. It has nothing to do with that. It
Right.
just means for that moment in time, for that window of what, and for what he's looking for that particular, and I'm guessing she's submitting 3 to the new something light, Glorious Light
Yeah, I
thing,
think
book
so.
that he's going to put together, right? And so he's looking for certain things to fit the Glorious Light category. And just because you don't get in doesn't mean they're not good.
John, I can see what you're doing here right now. You're very transparent. You're about to submit the Lenswork, and you're trying to psych yourself up for that rejection.
I
It
am.
doesn't mean anything. But what you say is true.
Yeah.
Certain images have to fit together.
Yeah.
He may have already received something else. There's a million reasons why a rejection from a publication like Lenswork should not be taken to heart.
That's right. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, good chat as always. So for those listening and still listening, we'd love to hear your feedback. Do you belong to this type of new club already? Do they exist more so than we think they do? Do you like the idea? Are you willing to go back to your club and say, hey, let's start a new chapter of this club? I'm just curious for your feedback as to what you think about maybe a club, and again, that's not the right word, a forum that offers a different take on this. So thanks for watching. Ring the bell, sign up, list over there, do that, score a touchdown, swing for the fence. None of those things have anything to do with YouTube, do they?
You're an idiot, such an idiot.
Thank you. I'm really good at it, though.
You are. You're really good. Hey, how many subscribers are we up to?
You know what? I don't know, but we got a bunch from that thing we did with Nick Stover. So I think we're up to like 550, actually.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Screaming right now, screaming.
They're writing the check right now.
Hey, we'll see you in about a few seconds.
Okay.